I am Bill Rochelle, Editor-at-Large for American Bankruptcy Institute. Our weekly videos took a 2-week hiatus during the holidays, and as there always is at the end of a quarter, we had gobs of significant opinions. I want to take a minute or two now to give you a rundown on what some of them were about. First off, we had the 11th Circuit to tell us that companies in Chapter 11 do not qualify for so-called loans under the Paycheck Protection Program. As you know, Congress also, over the holidays, did give authority for companies in Subchapter 5 to receive PPP loans. But this ruling stands because Congress is not allowing ordinary Chapter 11 debtors to get PPP loans. Second, we had a decision by Judge Rodriguez in Houston telling us that a dissolved corporation, at least in Texas, may only file to liquidate in Chapter 7 and may not attempt to reorganize in Chapter 11. Next, we have a judge, Judge Fury in Madison, Wisconsin, who told us that in a Chapter 12 plan, at least when there is consent from the creditor, a debtor can directly pay an impaired secured creditor and must not be required to route those payments through the Chapter 12 trustee. Next, we had a rather significant decision by Bankruptcy Judge Bernstein in New York City. He was interpreting Section 546E, the so-called safe harbor, to tell us that in substance, a foreign liquidator trying to sue in the United States has less ability than a U.S. Trustee, and that is in a U.S. case, to set aside fraudulent transfers on account of the safe harbor. Next, we have the Judge Thuma in Albuquerque, New Mexico, who is presiding over the reorganization of a Catholic archdiocese. And he told us that for the purpose of the automatic stay, the bishop of the archdiocese is essentially the same as the church. So the automatic stay, therefore, covers the bishop as well as the church. Next, we had a significant opinion in the Madoff case. It involved one of several defendants who had been trying to fend off a fraudulent transfer suit for more than 10 years. Well, the bankruptcy judge, Cecilia Morris in New York, entered judgment for the trustee for every dollar that the trustee was seeking. And on top of that, gave the trustee prejudgment interest of 4%, which is almost going to increase the judgment by half. That's going to hurt people who have continued to sue with little chance of success. Next, we now have bankruptcy judges who have disagreed about the ability of a bankruptcy court to abate rent as a result of the pandemic crisis. And finally, we have a split among bankruptcy judges on the question of whether or not a company must be currently engaged in business, or a person for that matter, to utilize Subchapter V. I am Bill Rochelle, as I said, the Editor-at-Large for American Bankruptcy Institute. You can go to the stories of mine, which are reported on ABI's website, and you will find all of the details about these subjects that I have just covered, as well as a link where you can read the opinion itself. Now that the holidays are over, we'll be back same time next week with something important in the world of bankruptcy. Until then, be well, stay safe, because the vaccines are